We finally made it. The stage is set. Knicks, Cavs, Eastern Conference Finals. We've got a preview coming up on today's show, OG Anunoby injury updates, and my official prediction. As you're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports, we are presented by PrizePicks, and my name is Marshall Green. Before we get into today's show, if you want the Knicks to get to the NBA Finals, beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference Finals, hit that thumbs up icon right now. One more sleep, ladies and gentlemen. One more sleep. And then it's game one. Knicks, Cavs, Eastern Conference Finals. It has been a long 8 days without New York Knicks basketball in our lives, but it was worth the wait. And I am ready. 4 more to get to the finals, and then 4 more to put a banner in the rafters of the world's most famous arena. Here is the schedule for the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 1 will be Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Every game will be at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and there will be a game every other day. So Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, all at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be live on this channel for every single game an hour before tip-off, so subscribe and turn those notifications on. The New York Knicks come into this series as heavy favorites, as minus 265 to win this series, with the Cavs at plus 215. You look at the different ways that this series could end alongside with the odds in Vegas. Vegas is telling you that they think the most likely outcome is Knicks in 5, and then Knicks in 7, and then Knicks in 6, and then Knicks in 4, and then Cavs in 6, and then Cavs in 7, and then Cavs in 5, and then Cavs in 4. Vegas is telling you that they really, really believe the New York Knicks are going to win this series. But I don't really care about what Vegas has to say, because the Knicks were favorites to beat the Heat in 2023. And they were favorites to beat the Pacers in 2024. And you were favorites to beat the Pacers last year in 2025. Jalen, Josh, Kat, it's time for you guys to get the job done. Get to the NBA Finals. Game 1, the New York Knicks are 7-point favorites with the total over-under at 217. So Vegas is expecting a game where both teams get inside of 100 points and for the Knicks to win by at least 7 points. My question to you before we dive into my keys to victory to win this series is, who do you got? Who do you got getting to the NBA Finals? Knicks, Cavs, sound off for me. Some injury news. OG Anunoby is expected to play in Game 1. Shams Charania tweeting out literally moments ago that OG Anunoby is going to play in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, as he was a full participant in practice on the 15th. So good news, OG is back, and the Knicks are at full strength. This was a starting lineup that Cleveland ran with in Game 7. They decided to go with Max Strus in the starting lineup. Outside of Dean Wade, Wade pretty much started every game in that series prior to that. But this is a Cavs team that has a lot of scorers. Like Donovan Mitchell can score. James Harden can score. We know that. Evan Mobley has had a good playoff stretch. Jarrett Allen just went crazy in Game 7. Max Strus can shoot it. Dennis Schroder is a good point guard. Sam Merrill just went crazy in Game 7. They only really go 8 deep. Ellis and Bryant didn't play all that much in this series, but I wouldn't be surprised if Ellis does play more just because they want more perimeter defenders, and Thomas Bryant is kind of their only backup big at this point. We'll get to my keys to victory coming up here momentarily. First, though, I got to tell you about our proud sponsor of today's show, and that is PrizePicks. Shout out to PrizePicks. When you play your first $5 lineup and you get when you play your first $5 lineup and you use that promo code HMA, PrizePicks is going to hook you up with $50 in lineups. It's available in all 50 states plus Washington, D.C. PrizePicks is my best friend right now. Game 7, Pistons, Cavs. I put a 6-pick power play lineup in, and it was check, 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 check. $70 to $2,625. I think that's the number, $2,625. Shout out to PrizePicks. You guys can follow or fade every single pick I make on PrizePicks. I put one in for every single playoff game by following me on their awesome new social feed feature at @MarshallGreen_. I'll have my lineup ready to go for Game 1, and I'll have a lineup for Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals tonight. So go check me out, give me a follow, and get hooked up with PrizePicks. Play $5, get $50 instantly. Use the promo code HMA. PrizePicks, it was good to be right. All right, keys to victory for this series. Win Game 1. Win Game 1. It is very, very important. You did not win Game 1 in the Eastern Conference Finals last year versus Indianapolis, and we all know what happened in that game. But the Cleveland Cavaliers are coming off of a 7-game series. They played Game 7 last night. They play Game 1 tomorrow night. They played Game 7 in Detroit. They play Game 1 in New York. They're not going back to their beds. They're not going back to their wives and their dogs. They're going straight to New York City. The Cleveland Cavaliers have played 10 games in the last 19 days. Round 1 for the Cavs went 7 games. Round 2 for the Cavs went 7 games. And Game 1, Knicks-Cavs, will be the 11th game in 20 days that the Cleveland Cavaliers have to play. Remember all that chitter-chatter about how the 76ers were tired? Well, maybe the Cleveland Cavaliers will be tired, and the New York Knicks need to take advantage of that. Listen to this from the Action Network. They posted this article back in May of 2024 saying the NBA playoffs are grueling, and after 7 games against the same team, no matter how thrilling the victory, there tends to be some hangover going into the next series. Going back through the past 36 years of NBA playoff data, there have been 88 instances of a team playing Game 1 of a series after playing 7 games in their previous series. In those games, the teams coming off the 7-game series are 33 and 55 straight up in Game 1. Teams coming off a Game 7 have been outscored by 402 points combined over this span, an average of a minus 4.5 point differential. And 31 of the 88 teams in this spot have been outscored by double digits. Teams coming off a Game 7 facing a team that did not go 7 games are 16, 30, and 1 against the spread in Game 1 over the last 20 years. You should win this game. And honestly, you should probably beat them by a good margin. At this point, I don't care how much you win by as long as it's by 1. But we saw when a wounded deer in Philly went to MSG after a grueling 7-game series, and the Knicks spanked up on him and won by 39 points. I'll take another 39-point win, but just go get a win and win Game 1. It is a must in this series. I think the biggest X factor in this Eastern Conference Finals for the Knicks is Josh Hart. I think it's going to be really the first series where we see the opposing team put a center on Josh Hart. And they're going to run that ghost coverage. And they are going to dare Hart to shoot threes. They're going to leave him open, and they're going to leave him open really until he proves that he can consistently make his shots. Whether that is Jarrett Allen or that is Evan Mobley, there will be a big man guarding Josh Hart. He'll be sagging off into the paint, trying to clog the lane and close off driving lanes for Towns, Anunoby, Bridges, and Brunson, and saying, you know what? The Knicks are good offense, but we're going to roll the dice and let Josh Hart beat us from 3 if he does. In the regular season, he did a good job. He did. 41.3% from 3. His best year from downtown in his career. But in the playoffs, he has not been great from 3. He has a hand injury, he has a wrist injury, he's got a thumb injury. Only shooting 27.5%. If Josh Hart can shoot above 35% in this series, the Knicks are going to win. If he doesn't, it'll be tough. They still can win. But if he's able to hit open shots, the New York Knicks are going to go to the NBA Finals. Speaking of Josh Hart and speaking of the Eastern Conference Finals, we just launched a brand new Josh Hart shirt. I always say it. You got to have heart, and you got to have this. Go to chatsports.com/Knicks now. Get your Josh Hart shirt. If you haven't got your Jalen Brunson captain shirts yet, do that as well. And rock some Knicks now. Buy Chat Sports merch for the Eastern Conference Finals. We've got the Hart shirts in blue and black. You can get them both at chatsports.com/Knicks now. Anybody that buys a shirt, I'm giving you a shout out on game one. Pick and roll defense will be huge in this series with guys like James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, essentially 48 minutes of high-level pick and roll ball handling play from Cleveland. It's going to be very critical for the point of attack defense for the Knicks to be on point. Whether that's Mikal Bridges guarding Donovan Mitchell, whether that's Josh Hart guarding James Harden, could be OG Anunoby. I'm sure we'll see some Miles McBride. You have to be able to contain and figure out that pick and roll. And you can't overload the pick and roll because then that leaves Sam Merrill wide open. That leaves Dean Wade wide open. That leaves Max Strus wide open. You shut off this pick and roll, it turns into an ISO-heavy offensive attack for Cleveland. And if Cleveland has to rely on James Harden and Donovan Mitchell beating OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, and Josh Hart consistently in ISO situations, I'll take the results. Shut off the pick and roll, make them go ISO, and the New York Knicks will be in a very, very good spot. On the flip side, you got to make those same two guys guard on defense. It's no secret. James Harden is not a good defender. James Harden is not a hyperactive defender. Donovan Mitchell is not a good defender. We know that. And I think the way that you can make this work is by continuing to spam that action of Karl-Anthony Towns at the left elbow, Karl-Anthony Towns at the right elbow extended, and he is your playmaking hub. And you are running Bridges off a screen, cut. OG Anunoby, screen, cut. Harden's not playing off ball, able to deny passing lanes on cuts. Donovan Mitchell's not doing that either. Make those two guys defend. They are the head of the snake. You can tire them out that way as well, but they are vulnerable. They do not have really any elite perimeter defenders. Keon Ellis is their best, in my opinion, and he doesn't play all that much. And that is why I believe my last key to victory is keep it close late. Well, first and foremost, blow them out. That would be awesome. But don't get blown out. And if you can keep it to single digits in the fourth quarter, you're going to be in a good spot. Because the Cleveland Cavaliers do not employ a single soul in their organization that can guard Jalen Brunson, that can stop Jalen Brunson, that can make it hard for Jalen Brunson. There is not one defender in that organization that could do it. It's going to be a team approach. They're going to blitz him off ball screens. They're going to get the ball out of his hands. And hopefully Brunson just makes that pocket pass and you start playing 4-on-3 on the backside. But I could see this series turning into the Cavs have figured out how to stop that Karl-Anthony Towns playmaking hub, back cut, screen, action, and it results in we have Jalen Brunson, you do not, and you don't have an answer for him, and it could be an ISO Brunson series, and I'm okay with that. I totally am. I think you've got the best player in this series. I think you've got the best coach in this series. You've got home court advantage in this series. And I believe OG Anunoby is better than any player on the Cavs. I believe Karl-Anthony Towns is better than any player on the Cavs. The Knicks will win this series, and I'm going in 6 games, and we're going back to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2000. Knicks in 6. I wanted to do Knicks in 5, but I'll give some respect to the Cavs. Give me Knicks in 6. Won't be shocked if it's 5, and I won't be shocked if it's 4 either. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up icon. Give me a follow on social media, and I'll see you in the finals.